This is The Cremation of Sam McGee by the American poet Robert Service. It's an old family favorite of ours. I used to have it memorized. I don't anymore, so I'll be looking down and reading. Excuse me if I start to cry. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern sights have seen queer sights, but the queerest I ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake Lebarge when I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. Though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd closed, then the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe, he turns to me and Cap says, "Yeah, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of moan, "It's this cursed cold that's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through the bone. Yet tain't being dead. It's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair you'll cremate my last remains." A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail, and we started on the streak of dawn. But God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried hard driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of our promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Now, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb and my heart how I cursed that load, in the long, long night by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathed that thing! And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. And the trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in, and then often sing that hateful thing, and hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Lebarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. And then here, said I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled on my cheeks, and I don't know why, and the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out, and they danced about ere I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, "I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked." Then the door I opened wide, and there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar, and he wore a smile you could see with a mile. He said, "Please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and the storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. But of all the sights, I'm sorry, the Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest I ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Lebarge when I cremated Sam McGee." Cremation of Sam McGee by Robert W. Service. Thank you. And if you hit it with a like and hit that subscribe button if you want more basement poetry. All right. Thanks.